What's up, guys? So, in the I promise ongoing effort to clean, or maybe I should say clean, um, we're going to be doing some storinating today without a storinator. We're going to put stuff somewhere where it's not. We're going to move stuff from one spot to another and call it cleaning. That's what we're going to do today. So, I have a rule that if I bring something up to the attic, I have to take something out of the attic. And it's working pretty well. I don't bring things to the attic anymore, so we're at least at a net neutral, which is good. But I was up here looking at just the amount of computer stuff I have, trying to figure out where I can put stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to get rid of, but will be long-term storage. I may one day use it, probably not, but I'm not getting rid of it, kind of a thing. And remember that I have a rack down in the basement that doesn't really have a lot in it. So we're going to store some stuff down there, see how much stuff we can cram into that down there into some of the free space. A good example would be our spare hard drives. And this was pretty genius idea, if I say so myself. Bought a bunch of these boxes and then put the drive in an anti-static bag. Each box is sealed, so as long as that seal is on there, I know that this is actually the drive that is supposed to be in there. And most of these are drives that I will never use again. Most of them came out of junk PS3s or PS3s that I upgraded the drives in, that kind of stuff. And I will probably never use them, but I'm also not going to get rid of them. So those might have enough room to store them down there. I'm not sure yet. That will definitely be going. That's the Cooler Master CM Stormtrooper. That will be going. That B450F will be going. The Cooler Master, not Cooler, Corsair, I think it is. Yeah, it's a Corsair case. Not my favorite case. That would be the Stormtrooper, but it's still a big case with lots of room to play with, and I'm not getting rid of it because I think that was like $280 case when it came out. They're not super common now, so we'll be putting that up there. Over here, I don't think I've got the B550M Steel Legend will go up there. But it looks like that's actually about it. I thought I had another motherboard up here, but I guess not. That stack of boards will be going. It will probably sit here for 10 years until I finally throw them out, because I don't have anywhere to e-cycle them. I don't really want to throw them out, but they'll probably sit here for 10 years. I still kind of hold out hope that I'll one day do a motherboard wall, but it's probably not going to happen because I won't ever have a place to actually do one. Maybe end up doing just like a 4 foot by 4 foot and then frame it or something, but I'm also finding that getting pieces of glass is almost impossible because nobody will sell them to you unless you're a major company. So, let's grab the CM Storm and head downstairs and see what trouble we can get into. Okay, well, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is the hard drives will fit. The bad news is the I don't think the other case is gonna fit. I can take a measure, but I can tell you just from eyeballing, it's not gonna fit. I'd be very shocked if I got that to fit, but we'll at least try. And then down at the bottom we'll have our spot for our motherboards. So, and we have, this one is actually built. It's just waiting on hard drives. And then I have a license for Server 2019. I just have to figure out how to actually install it because it requires a dual layer DVD, which I don't have, and Microsoft no longer lets me download or even run the ISO to USB burner tool, so I'm going to just have to try to play around to try to figure out how to make a bootable USB to even install that darn thing. So But, and that thing is, it's massive. It's a gorgeous case, but it's massive. Oh no. I don't think it's gonna fit. We'll grab a tape measure and we'll find out. Okay, well the Corsair will not fit. However, another Corsair, the 200, did fit. So that works. That gets both of those out of the way. And I've got room for drives down at the bottom. Alright. I am happy with that. And I am now out of breath and very sore from carrying those down here. Okay, progress. That's what we gotta remember. Progress. That's a better representation of it. Bring our brightness up there. Yep. So, pretty sure it's just like right there. So, kind of feel some. There's a little bit there too, but I'm pretty sure the crack is right there. But that was not like that the last time I test booted this, so that's not a big deal. We'll switch the other monitor up here. Before I wrap this video, I will be putting a keyboard shelf in here. It's one of the reasons that I swung it around to the side so I can sit on the steps on the rare occasion that I need to actually work on something directly as opposed to remoting in. And then I'll have a new switch that'll go up top. Gonna go to 2.5 gig networking. I just don't see the point in spending $400 on a basic 10 gig switch and $100 per adapter when I can get a 5-port 2.5 gig for $130 with $35 per adapter. It's just not worth it because I'm not going to be able to saturate a 10 gig. Even though my desktop is all NVMe PCIe Gen 3 and I get 370 to 400 megabytes sustained reads and writes, that's still half of a 10G network. So while it's still more than a 2.5 gig, it's still more than double what I have now, and the hard drives that I use for backup will pull about 200 megs, which is double what I have now. So it'll cut backup times in half, and it'll cut transfer rates in half, and it's worth it. But it's not worth the ridiculously extra cost of going to full-on 10 gig. So we'll let this install, and we'll come back probably tomorrow when we've got some brackets for our keyboard tray, and hopefully this is done correctly. On the older versions of Windows, your basic was your GUI, and then your other option was your non-GUI. Well, it's different on this one. You have to do the graphical environment selected separately. That's why we got the wrong one on the first try. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this video wrapped up so I can get it edited and move on to the next one, because we're about done with what we're going to do here today. So, the AL223W still works, so that's back up. I dug out a really cheap IO Gear mouse from my box of stuff in the attic. So I've got a mouse. Walmart had a SteelSeries A100 for 25 bucks, so I picked that up because my $5 keyboard is at the lake, and the keyboard that I was using is a PS2 keyboard. Two problems with that: one, it's not hot swappable, and two, I need it for if I'm going to use one of my PS2s. So just a politically correct 1x12, so it's 3/4 by 11 1/4 on a couple of basic white brackets. Gives us our shelving. So everything's ordered, should have it in a couple days. So this is what we're going from. This is just a basic 1 gigabit router with our whatever you call that thing that brings the internet connection in. So we're going to move both these over to the rack.
Here's mine.
And
Mine's great.
they'll both go up above here, so I got plenty of room. So we'll have to pull this out, put the 2.5 gig network card in the DL380, make sure our backup is current, and then we'll overlay everything onto the new one, and then we'll keep the DL turned off but as is for a few weeks till we know our new drives are good. So Thank you for watching, having some fun in the data center, and we'll see you next time.